Is it time for a spa day? Yes, it is.
Hi, not that type of spa day. We're gonna have a spa day for our Norwex cloths. Now, if you wanna keep your Norwex cloths running at their absolute best, you definitely wanna follow our recommended guidelines, which is to rinse daily, wash weekly, and you wanna wash your Norwex in a good filler-free laundry detergent. I prefer the Norwex laundry detergent. Never use bleach, never use fabric softener. And then you want to give them a good deep clean, which is our spa day, right? Our good deep clean every 2 to 3 months, because the tiny little fibers on our Norwex cloths, they pick up so much. They're such workhorses, right? So they get grease and grime and dirt and 99% of bacteria, and you will remove most of that with standard washing in the washing machine. I always wash on hot and then I throw them in the dryer. Now Norwex cloths love the dryer, so don't be afraid to do that. But why we deep clean is these tiny little fibers really are, as I said, workhorses. And just like we might brush our teeth every day, we still need to go to the dentist once every 6 months to once a year to get that deep cleaning on our teeth, because there's things in the cloth, there's tiny little molecules of dirt and debris and grease that only deep cleaning will remove. And it will actually extend the life of your Norwex, and it will help them absorb better, all of those other things. So we're actually going to deep clean a bunch of my Norwex right now. I have a basket full of Norwex, and I do demos all the time. I'm constantly cleaning my house. We have pet messes, you name it. My cloths are due for deep cleaning. So first I'm going to show you the water temperature. So a long time ago, people would boil their Norwex cloths, and we don't recommend doing that. We haven't recommended that for a couple years, but we do want to bring our water to a very high temperature, close to boiling. I'm going to post a video now so you can see what that looks like. Okay, this is the perfect temperature for our water. It's starting to bubble a little bit, but it's not boiling yet. So you want to bring it up to that point where it's just about to boil. That would be perfect for deep cleaning. Okay, I'm ready to pour the water in. First, I'm going to plug up the sink. I'm actually going to use both sides of my sink since I have so many. And I always recommend deep cleaning your Norwex with the Microfiber Cleaner Laundry Booster. This is amazing. And this is a new one. We just want to use 1 scoop per bucket. You can do this in a bucket or in a sink. You can do it in your bathtub. I prefer doing it in my sink. So I'm going to first put my 1 scoop in each side since I have so many. All right, and this is enzyme powered. So enzymes are proteins that act as catalysts to break down organic matter. So it's really going to eat through all of that grime that's embedded in those tiny little fibers. And Norwex microfibers are 1/200th of a human hair. It's super tiny. So let's get our water, get this prepped. So as you see, it's almost boiling here. We're going to just pour it in. And I have a couple buckets since I'm using 2 sinks. All right, I got my first one going. Let me get the second one. My second bucket. This is some hot water. And I find that doing this with water that's just about at that boiling stage works much better than just hot water from the tap. Okay, and then we have our last one, which is our big boy. I'm going to just kind of divide this up between the 2. All right, looking good. Make sure it's about even. Oh, I'm excited to see how dirty these get. Okay, so we've added that. Now I'm going to start adding my Norwex cloths. So I got a kitchen towel. And you can do this to all your Norwex cloths. Some Enviro cloths. This is my pet. This one is really old. It has been through the mill. So I actually have this dedicated to pet messes, which is great. So another Enviro cloth, some body cloths. My Enviro sponges, because look at that. Enviro sponges are scrubby on one side and Enviro cloth on the other. Still works great, but I definitely need to deep clean it. Got my bathroom scrub mitt, more Enviros, lots and lots of things. See, this one's got a little stain on it. And then I have my Enviro scrubs, literally all your Norwex you should deep clean. And I've got a dust mitt. It's not too stained, but I definitely see some dirt on there. And I got an older window cloth. Let's see what we got here. All right. So I think, oh, and then my mop pads. I want to throw my mop pads in there. So I've got my mini mop pad here. And let's get the rest of these in. Anything else? All right, I think we're good. So probably like 10 to 15 cloths per scoop. That's what I would recommend. And then I like taking, so this is a mix and chop. I like taking the mix and chop and just kind of moving all of the cloths around so they get fully saturated and all those fibers start opening up so that they can be impacted by those enzymes and start breaking down some of that gunk. So we're gonna leave these in here for half an hour and I'm gonna keep the video on, but I'm actually gonna speed it. So I'll speed it up while we kind of wait for that to happen, while we watch the process.
And we're back. So now that they've been sitting in the water for 30 minutes, may have been a little bit longer, I'm gonna wring them out and then put them in this bucket. So we're gonna go ahead and start doing that, and then I'll show you what I do next. So I'm just gonna take each one and wring it out really well. And I will tell you, this water stinks. I even have like my facial scrub mitt, my body scrub mitt, mop pads. Lots of Enviro cloths. I have several Enviro cloths. So for demos, for house cleaning, kitchen cloths. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and wring out the rest of this stuff and just put it all in this empty pot, and then we'll go from there. Okay, so I'm done wringing them out, and just look at that water. And I know we don't have smell-o-vision, but this smells so bad. And these were mostly clean cloths. So this is just how much extra dirt and debris is held in those little tiny fibers. So now we're gonna go to the next step and put everything in the washing machine. Okay, we are at the final step. So I'm just gonna put all of my Norwex into the washing machine. I'll turn it on hot and then I'll throw it in the dryer. Now, you could go about this two different ways. You could just simply rinse these out really well after deep cleaning them in the sink or a bucket and then throw them in the dryer. I personally like to run them through the wash. I just feel like it gives it an extra oomph when it comes to cleaning them. So the first thing I'm gonna do is add my detergent. I'm gonna add the Norwex Ultra Power Plus, which I love. All right, so I'm gonna add, I normally only do a teaspoon to a half a teaspoon per load. I'm gonna do about, what is that? Let me look. That is 1 teaspoon. I think I'm gonna do 2 teaspoons just because there's a lot of them. And I know that water was nasty. So I'm also going to put a teeny tiny bit of the booster in there. Definitely not a full scoop. The booster's got the enzyme power, so just a tiny bit. Get that in there. And then you want to put your cloths on top of your cleaning solution. So on top of your laundry detergent. So we'll get all those in there. And they're nice and wet, which is great. Norwex cloths, all of them absorb 7 times their weight in water. So just a little pro tip for you. It is a good practice to get into, to get your cloths wet before running a high efficiency load. High efficiency machines don't put as much water in the drum while they're going through the wash cycle. So since the cloths are so absorbent, they're going to absorb the majority of that water if they're completely dry. If you put them in nice and wet, then you still get the same amount of liquid that the high efficiency would use, but your cloths have more area to agitate around. They just agitate around more easily. So we're good. So I'm going to turn this on, and then I'm just going to throw them in the dryer, also on high. So I'm using the hot setting, and I'm also going to turn it on a deep fill, which is not that deep on a high efficiency washing machine. So there we go. Ooh, one thing before I forget, I'm going to add my magnet ball. This is a Norwex magnet ball. We have very hard water where I live, and the magnet ball is great. It pulls all the calcium deposits and other minerals into the center of the ball during the wash cycle. So it actually creates a softer water environment. So we'll get that in there too. Now we're ready to go. I'll see you guys soon.